Hello. Okay, come here. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Three of Cups Divine Arts. I have a very needy meow here. He will probably jump off momentarily. Come on. Oh my. Ugh. Hi. Thank you for joining. Bear with me for one moment as I share the broadcast out. Thank you for watching here on Three of Cups Divine Arts. This is Liz Whitaker from from Divination Station here live on Three of Cups. So just, again, bear with me as I share this out to my groups. And I think that should be it. Okay. So shared that out a few times. Okay, and for some reason, I'm still not able to see the comments here on the screen, and I don't know why. I can't quite figure it out. I can't quite figure out why I can't get the comments to show up here. So, I don't have any comment moderation. I don't have anything like that. So anyway, so it's not showing. I will watch the comments on my phone as soon as I, again, share this out a couple spots. And I see that if you have shared already, you will get on my list. I am doing a limited amount of free reads today. I do have some time limitations today. So I will, once I get to about 10 or 15, I will let you know. I can't really do more than that tonight because of time. Okay. And I think I got it out. Perfect. All right. Yeah, typical cat behavior, right? So let me go ahead and get the list started here. And thank you so much for sharing. You're going to see a lot more activity on Three of Cups shortly. So I'm really excited about that. We got some people coming back, hopefully some new talent coming up. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure you're following Three of Cups Divine Arts page. Like and follow the page. Also, join the group. I did put the group link in as well. Really looking to grow that for even more content, okay? So definitely pop into the group. We'll get you added in. And cool. So, almost done with the going through the tarot, really doing that in-depth look at each of the major arcana, the minors. We'll be halfway through the court cards today, so that will leave the queens and the kings. So 2 more weeks, and then we'll figure out what is what's going to be going on, what I'm going to be doing after that. So it should be exciting. So same format for the next couple weeks, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, Becky, there's going to be some awesome stuff going on. All right, Alex, thank you for sharing. Hola. So, of course, and like I said, I'm watching the comments on my phone to make sure, am I a queen yet? Let's find out. So, we're into the Knights. The Knights are that kind of adolescent energy. Say like teens to 20s, okay, where you still have like a ton of energy, you're making discoveries. You are, kind of forging your path, finding your way. Oh, yes, BJ. Yes, they are. The pages, we really kind of went down that path. We decided that path, we headed down it, and now the Knights are all about discovering what adventures are on that path. Okay? So, Knights. Hello, Origin. Hello, Paige. Got you. So it's discovery, right? Once you've decided the path you're going to go down, now you're going to discover what's on that path. You're really going to find out the struggles. Think of when you hit your early 20s, right? You think you have that path kind of set, but then what happens, right? It very rarely happens the way that we intended or planned, right? It very rarely goes as planned. So the Knights, adventuring, questing, daring. They're about movement. So where pages start on that path, the Knights continue. It's moving forward. So if the Knights are popping up in your reading, it's all about moving that energy forward. They're solution oriented. So if the Knights are popping up, you're looking for a solution to an issue, and that will kind of bring you to that. All right, Origin. I'm in Western New York, so I do squish my A's. So sometimes with names, I'm sure I unintentionally mispronounce because we really love squishing all of our A's. It's the Western New York accent, and I know I have it pretty bad. So thank you for understanding. So when the Knights come up, that's what it's all about. Okay, it's all about that sharing, that discovery. I'm just trying to make sure I have my cord. So, oh, no, that's what he knocked over. Of course. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start into each specific card. So we're going to look at Knight of Wands first. So Knight of Wands, fire, right? Wands are fire. So it's that really, there's a lot of energy movement here. The kind of the like motto of the Knight of Wands is I will clear a path. And I can kind of see the Knight of Wands like just setting it on fire. Again, as fire signs tend to understand this kind of energy, really getting in there, clearing it out, and figuring out what to put there after. They're adaptable. Motivation. If you need motivation, find a fire sign and buddy up with them. If you need motivation, this Knight of Wands energy is really going to take you there. So if it's coming up and you're feeling stuck, this Knight of Wands is really going to get you lit, right? On the kind of flip side with that, he can be selfish. And again, these are not necessarily gendered. I talked about this a little bit in the intro and with the pages. They're not gendered, okay? So if I do say, he, it's because most of them are drawn as male figures. But the energies are not gendered. So it does not necessarily mean that a young man is going with red hair in his 20s is going to come into your life. Okay, I don't read the court cards that way. So, just a little tip on, the gendered language. You'll probably hear me switching back and forth between he and they, because I'm really trying to kind of get rid of that gendered language. So selfishness, carelessness, impetuous, right? Kind of really taking off, not really taking anybody else's feelings or plans into account, just kind of going with it. And it's air of fire. So we talked about the elements of the court cards. Pages, every page represented that earth energy. Knights are air. So knights represent that air energy. So there's always that like feeling of communication with them. So they're bringing new adventures, okay, and new communication, new thoughts, new ideas, kind of in that realm. So this is the Rider-Waite Smith deck. And again, we talked about the salamanders with the pages. So you see that motif showing up again here. And the red, the plumage, looks like flames, and air ignites flame, right? So in the Thoth deck, the knights are princes. Okay. Not sure why. I haven't actually read up on that yet. But here, we definitely get that fire energy, right? Everything's in those yellows and oranges. We have that lion. So we have that fire energy, that like Leo energy. Apollo. This actually reminds me a lot of Apollo. Riding his chariot of the sun. So we have that headdress with the sunbeams. So if this, I would probably say this is meant to be Apollo. Again, I'm not positive, but I'm really getting some Apollo vibes. So this is the Thoth deck. And for the other deck that I picked today, I picked the Barbara Walker deck because I thought that would be fun. Also uses prints because they use the archetypes of the Thoth. So this is Dagon. So it's that kind of fish beast. And you see the flames in the background. Symbols of the sun and the moon. And the Prince of Wands. So here, kind of holding that fire, holding that energy. And someone, this person looks like they're like prostrate, in front of this energy. They're looking for it. They're asking for it. And it is Dagon that is dispensing the energy, right? And all of the cards have a lot of that red energy in there. Okay, so again, Knight of Wands, Air of Fire. And next, we're going to move on to, there we go, Knight of Cups. So I see a lot of people popping in. Please let me know you're here. And if you have not yet liked or followed Three of Cups Divine Arts, please do so. The group link is also there, so you can go there, ask to get let in the group. Should automatically let you in. You're going to find a lot more content in the group as far as readings and lessons and all that kind of fun stuff. So like, react, comment. Sounds like there's a beetle at my window. Like, react, comment. It really expands our reach, which is really what we're looking to do. Okay? Oh, and if you share the broadcast out, comment, #shared, and I'll get a card for you at the end of the broadcast. All right, Trisha, thank you. And I'll get a couple more card, because I do have a time limit tonight, so I can't really hang out too much. So I can take like 2 or 3 more for card pulls at the end. So Knight of Cups. So this really looks, we here in the Fairy tales, the knight in shining armor. This is probably what we picture, right? He's got the flowers and the fish and the red. So remember, the page had the fish. Fish are emotions. And then we have the wings. The wings of Hermes or Mercury. Again, representing that air, bringing that way with words to emotions, okay? And that's going to be what's important with the King of Cups. Charm. It is someone that can be very charming. The motto of the Knight of Cups is love is the highest power. And wouldn't that be, wonderful if that was accurate in every situation? Very romantic. Romanticizing even. So, romantic, we all know what romance is. Really leaning into that side, but also romanticizing a situation. Rose-colored glasses, not really looking at the reality of a situation. Very expressive in love. With this, I would say words of affirmation are the love language, right? Very expressive, knows how to communicate their emotions. On the kind of other side of that, it can be a lack of stability in emotions. So those ups and those downs when communicating emotions. Smooth talker is kind of that negative side of charming, right? So when I think of, well, I mean, Alex, you kind of, you can be, because you're kind of in that age range, right? So in a way, you might move through these different night energies because you are adventuring, you're questing. And that's one of the shadow sides of the Knight of Cups, is the lack of stability. Okay, each card has their shadow side. Each person has our shadow side. So yeah, as you're kind of navigating teens into 20s, 25, you're finding all of these, you think of like a video game or a board game, role-playing game. You know where you start, you know where you end. I mean, not to be morbid, but like death, right? And we have to have a path between here and there. So we think we know that path, but we go on side quests, right? We go on new adventures, new things pop up. And sometimes we kind of we get back to that original journey, that original adventure, and sometimes we don't, right? And that's life. So the difference with charisma and charm, I view charisma as that innate ability, right? If you have charisma, you don't really, it's just part of you. Again, role playing, right? You roll for charisma. Charm is something that I think can be learned or affected. You can pull it in when you need to. But if you have charisma, you just kind of have it. Lofty ambitions. Again, that romanticizing a situation. I just met you, and I think we should probably move in together. That kind of thing. This is going to be the best thing ever. And the Knight of Cups, the energy is air of water. So it's effervescent. And the Thoth deck, Prince of Cups. So here, again, we have that full card feel. And we kind of get the mist coming up. He's driving. This chariot it's a bird going into the water. And he's holding that cup. And he's got that bird, that eagle, on his helmet. So again, reminiscent of Mercury and Hermes. We have that emotional energy, real watery, really getting close to the water without necessarily joining it, right? And in the Barbara Walker deck, the Prince of Cups is Galahad. And if you're familiar at all with, if you're at all familiar, with the Knights of the Round Table, with King Arthur, you know that Galahad was the only knight pure enough to actually get the Holy Grail. So we see him, I believe, was it Tintagel Abbey? Another word that comes out of my mouth weird. So we have that Holy Grail. That's the cup. That's the cup. And he's reaching for it. And we have the guardian of the cup. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, that you have chosen wisely. That's him. The keeper of the Grail. And I'm going to put her down because I've been having sneezing fits today. And she will make me sneeze. So Trisha, if you've been, missing your ex, there's a lot of things going on. We're about to go into a Pisces moon. There's a lot of emotions going on right now. And, make sure you aren't, romanticizing that person, right? She's good. She's less sneezy. She just woke up from her, evening sleep, so now she wants the pets. Yep. I'm extra allergic to her fur for some reason. So now, Knight of Swords. So the motto of the Knight of Swords is, I know what to do. Defender. You can this energy is so you can hear it. What if we didn't go? If we didn't, then if we skipped over the Pisces full moon, then there would be something even more messed up going on in the universe. And everything would be out of order and there would maybe be chaos. So Knight of Swords. You can almost hear the wind, right? Rushing past you. If you've ever, ridden a horse or a bike or a motorcycle. I've ridden a bike. Horses are very large and I'm very risk averse. So I would probably never get on a motorcycle, but I can imagine, right? I've been on a bike. So you kind of feel that wind. Action oriented. There's no denying where that comes from. And here we have that red, those flowers. And they are flowers. It's kind of hard to see. And then butterflies. You're going to see butterflies as a motif in the sword court cards. Swiftness. Again, you can really get that feeling. Power. Hi. Power. Also empowered. So, and again, a little bit of the difference between power and empowered. Power is something that you feel and kind of make yourself. If you are empowered, the whole situation brings you up. You don't have to force it. She's trying to force my hand to pet her. I love you. I love you. On the flip side, the energy can be aggressive. Again, you can kind of see that. It can be aggressive. It can be reactive. So instead of taking a situation in and really figuring out what the next step is, you just kind of move forward. You react. And this is air of air. So with Knights, that's why you have that kind of extra reactivity, that extra motion. Knight of Swords is air of air. Hi, I know, baby. And here, again, we have that idea of driving that chariot, driving that, and here it is driven by other people. So this one feels a little bit harsher, right? So we have all those kind of like angular triangles in the background. And it really does look like it's kind of flying through the air, right? And I think that Adrian, hi, that it's driven by other people, instead of the seabird or the lion. It really gives an indication of the border, kind of the aggressiveness, the taking power by force. Okay, so that might be an energy that you would want to kind of watch out for with the Knight of Swords or Page of Swords. And in the Barbara Walker deck, we have Tyr. So good old Norse mythology here. Tyr. And again, taking force, showing force and will over others. There's a pile of what we are going to assume are corpses. And that flag is flying. Okay, so that is Tyr. And you can't see his face, right? Okay. Again, I have a couple more spots left for cards. If you do want to, definitely share this out. Please comment #shared. And I'll have time for a couple more card pulls at the end. Knight of Pentacles. So we've gone through, all of those energies, the motivational energy, the charming energy, the powerful energy. Knight of Pentacles is the only horse. So all of those horses looked like they were moving, right? You could see the motion. This one, awesome. Thank you, Diane. Thank you for letting me know. That's kind of why I wanted to tackle these and really do a deep dive and kind of dissect their energy. All right, Gina Michelle, got you. Okay, yep, Trisha, I gotcha. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles. So we have those other energies, right? So Knight of Pentacles. And now remember, Knights are supposed to be moving forward, right? But this one doesn't look like he is. It looks like the kind of foreground is, you can almost picture it waving, right? So the Knight of Pentacles motto is, I endure all in service. So Pentacles are that earth energy. Stability, foundation, loyal. Knight of Pentacles is loyal. If this comes up, there's a lot of that loyal energy, responsibility, dependability, does the work. Knight of Pentacles is the one, if, the Knight of Swords is delegating tasks, and the Knight of Wands is moving the project forward. The Knight of Pentacles is the one that you give the spreadsheet work to, you give the accounting to, you give that detail-oriented kind of tedious work that you really can't see the other knights doing. That's Knight of Pentacles for you, okay? On the flip side of that, of course, stubborn, rigid, perfectionist energy because you don't see it moving. And you can get that idea of like dwelling on a detail, dwelling on something that isn't really moving forward. You can get that feeling. Methodical too. So that, is neither a good or bad thing. So I always picture the Knight of Pentacles kind of taking a couple steps and stopping, So he's moving just at a slower pace, a more careful pace. And that is air of earth. And a lot less movement in that one. So in the Thoth deck, we have the bull there. So the bull is, of course, a symbol of the earthy signs, right? Taurus. And here we have all of the plants, right? So we have plants represented. So we have that green feeling, that earthy feeling. And this disc actually reminds me of like the earth, right? It looks like a globe. And in the background, you can kind of see the motifs of the pentacles from the other cards. And the reins actually look kind of slack, right? They're not tight. They don't have movement. They're not pulled like the rest of them. It's very, very slow and steady, right? And in the Thoth deck, we have Merlin, or not the Thoth deck. I'm sorry, the Barbara Walker deck. We have Merlin, and I really should look at her booklet here because, and I think the Pentacles are more Celtic driven, but so Prince of Pentacles, and we have that drawn. So we have that sorcerer energy, and we have, this little red monster popping in, and I totally forget what that little red monster is. So now I want to know. Oh, it's a red dragon. Wales. Okay. So because he is of Welsh descent and Welsh origin, he is said to have been fathered by the Welsh god, possibly the dragon. So that's why. So if I need to know something, y'all need to know it. So that wraps up the princes or the knights, depending on what system. So yeah, I really hope that this gives you a better understanding of the specific energy of those court cards. And I know people can sometimes have issues with pages. Court cards can be tricky altogether. Oh, and you want to look at the direction that they're looking in too. So I did bring that up with the pages, but we have the wands looking this way. No, this way. I'll figure that out sooner or later. King of Cups is looking that way. Knight of Swords is looking the other way. So you want to look at those directions too when the court cards pop up. What are they facing? Are they facing to the problem or away from the problem? Are you running away or are you looking for a solution? I decided to do an oracle deck for the readings today. These are the Dark Damsel Oracle. It's an out-of-print indie oracle deck that I found on Instagram and ordered immediately. So it's an oracle deck, so it's going to be a little bit slimmer generally. This is the back. Super gorgeous. I kind of want to take a pause here. Make sure that you are looking for Bridget's show on Saturdays. Mythic Journeys. Becky's back. She's going to be doing a live tomorrow, so make sure you're in the group to catch her pop-up lives, okay? We've had a couple pop-ups in the group. Make sure you join, like the page, follow the page. You're going to get all sorts of content there, but by getting in the group, you're really going to get kind of a little bit more. And also, you know, sharing the broadcast out really brings more people to us, which is what we want. Hello, sir. All right, so sunshine. Destination. So the first thing that kind of pops up here is, so we just finished the nights, right? So nights are, you know, adventuring. Like, what's at the end of that quest? What is the destination? Is the destination the important part? Paige, I'm so glad she's going to be back. I'm real glad. Sunshine, is the destination important, or is it the journey? Is it both? So kind of look at the kind of path that you've been on, the journey that life has been taking us, and really kind of ask yourself that. Is it the lessons that you're learning on the way that's important? I think so. Right? And Becky, you are next. So my time limitation. Oh, Cheryl, it's all right. No problem. You can always catch the replays as well if you want the lesson part. You can always watch the replay. I do have a YouTube channel as well. It is Divination Station. Right now, it's the lives from here, and I'm going to be adding some content as well. I'm going to be adding some personal storytelling stuff. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be adding some personal storytelling, so that might be kind of fun. Yes, Doodles is the guest for this evening. Becky, energy. So this is like fiber optic lights or LED lights, like the energy just pulsing through. And I think it's all about pulling that energy that's right for you and really harnessing that energy, really harnessing that motivation, that energetic motivation. All right, Caitlin. Sever. So this card can kind of look intense, but she's cutting her hair. Severing ties to something that you once felt very attached to. And sometimes it just feels so good. One of my favorite things to do is when I let my hair get long, kind of going in for the chop and just cutting it all off. It feels so good. So that's really this card, is looking into, and this looks like an eclipse, so really looking into the depths of yourself and really severing what is no longer serving you. What's dead weight? What don't you need anymore? And it could be a scary thing to sit down in the chair for that big haircut, right? But it's always worth it at the end. All right, Alex, you are next. Heart. So right now, it feels like you're. So what kind of came to me as I'm looking at this is you keep taking your heart out, holding it, looking at it, setting it down, putting it back in. And what if you just left it in? And let me explain that. So instead of kind of taking it out to play with, it's like it's getting sticky. You're touching it too much. Think of wacky wall walkers when you like throw them on the wall and they curl down and they get like dusty. It's going to take away some of the like sparkle. Leave it in there. And I'm trying to really word what I'm trying to say about this, and I'm having a bit of a difficulty. So Alex and heart. Really watch how you're handling your heart. There we go. There it is. Caitlin, you're welcome. All right, Lyra. Oh, he is a very handsome. He's very handsome. Lyra, detach. I know. I know. So detach. And while the first glance, it might seem the same as sever, but sever is very abrupt. Sever is intense. Detach is more of a process. Detach is a little slower. When a spider detaches from their web, you know, they can't do it all at once. Well, maybe jumping spiders, but anyway, jumping spiders don't have webs. And the web kind of dissolves a little bit at a time. And that's kind of what I'm getting for you. So, and it almost feels like the end result is going to be more intense than a quick sever. It's detaching from a superficial life. Detaching from a superficial life is what came through, and that's a pretty intense message. But that's kind of what I'm getting for you, Lyra. Okay? All right, Paige, you are next. So, Paige Marie. Ooh, gracefully descend. Gracefully descend. So what I'm getting with this, feathers falling. Feathers falling doesn't make them, it changes the meaning. It changes their purpose. It changes their path. Okay? And you can kind of see the feathers falling down. So feathers, when they detach, it's done naturally. And once they reach the ground, you know, think of, you know, when you're walking by, you're walking, and you see like that beautiful feather, you know, a blue jay feather, something that really catches your eye. It might not mean anything anymore to the bird, but now it means something to you. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this. It's gracefully descending and transforming. And someone isn't going, you're going to be appreciated by someone else for something completely different. Okay? All right, Origin, you are next. Detach for you too. So what I'm picking up for you is this is also that gentle detachment and a pulling away. Yeah, Paige, let me know if that resonates, because that kind of really took a little bit for me to kind of like pull out what I was seeing. Okay. Sometimes I have to kind of find those words to get out what I'm seeing. So origin, detach. For you, what I'm really getting is taking very slow steps away from a central point, a focus that no longer works for you. Okay, so it's feeling like you are detaching from something you were once very attached to. Maybe, a goal, like we talked about, with the Knights, kind of starting off in one place, and you kind of get, you find new adventures and you end up somewhere completely different. That's kind of what I'm getting for you, is being able to radically detach from the plans that you initially had. Okay? All right, Trisha, you are next. Movement. Perfect. Trisha. And this reminds me of like the Nautilus, that sacred geometry, always moving. So, and Knights are all about movement. So right now it really feels like your life is kind of picking up momentum, kind of picking up some steam, and moving ahead with your goals. And it might feel like it's moving a little too quickly for you, like Wheel of Fortune. Think of the Wheel of Fortune, right? It might feel like it's moving a little too quickly, but it's better than the stagnation that you had before. Okay? Gina, you are next. Gina, stillness. Oh, I love this. Stillness. So I love this illustration. It's like that like crystal, that like perfect crystal as a tire swing, or the tree swing. It's not a tire because it's not a tire. But I wrote on these when I was a kid. So, hopefully everybody has like wonderful memories of approaching a swing and knowing appreciating those still moments when you get on, and then as the momentum builds. So, Gina, the stillness right now, appreciate the stillness before you get moving. Okay, appreciate the stillness in contrast with the movement. Okay, the meditation, right? Appreciate the stillness of meditation in contrast with all of our like crazy pace lives, right? It's my cat with a hairball. Francis, hi. Good. I'm glad that resonates, Origin. All right, Michelle, you are next. Time. So speaking of stillness, time. Awesome. Gina, I'm glad. So here we have time, and we have the symbols of the planets. And we see it as an hourglass, the stars moving as an hourglass. So, right, we can't change time. We can't slow time. We can't stop time. We can't go back in time. marches forward, but it's in a regular interval, right? So what's actually coming through, that said, for you, Michelle, is divine timing. We know how time works, right? Because the calendar tells us so. Our watches tell us. Our cell phones tell us. So we have this concept of time. Yep, Francis. I'm asking for a card is to share the broadcast out and comment hashtag shared. So share it to your feed, share it to a group where that's okay, and we'll get you. So Michelle, time. Work within the constraints of the time that we have. Okay? And really look for that divine timing. Don't force anything. Don't ignore when it's time to do something, right? Don't ignore your intuition when it comes to time. Okay? Adrienne, you are next. And let me pop I don't think I put my page in here. You can follow my page. And of course, that didn't actually trigger anything. Let's see. It's Divination Station Tarot. And I have a group too. You can join my group too. All right, Adrienne, you are next. And of course, if you do enjoy my free readings, you can always reach out and schedule a reading with me. I do, if you're local to the Buffalo area, I do readings in person at Rising Goddess. COVID precautions are in place, so you will have to wear a mask. I will as well, and we will be, kind of as distanced as we can be. And everything is sanitized, okay? So in Buffalo, reach out to me. We can set something up in person. Always available for Zoom. So I can do a Zoom reading. I can do Facebook chat. I can do FaceTime, anything like that. So if you are interested, you can always reach out to me personally. Again, Elizabeth Whitaker or Liz Whitaker, Divination Station Tarot. And I can do a reading for you. I generally do it by time, so half hour, an hour, and whatever kind of fits in that time. I do tarot, oracle, pendulum, mediumship. Don't necessarily always mention mediumship here, but I am a psychic medium as well. I've gone through mediumship training, and I've been doing a lot of practice lately, so figured I'd mention it. So Adrienne. Stillness. Oh my gosh. So I've been just mindlessly shuffling, and stillness came here too. So Adrienne, what's coming through really strong for you is to take a moment and be still. Really take a moment to pause and then do it some more. It really feels like you have been running around doing things that are out of rhythm with your body. And I hope that resonates because that came right through. So what I mean by that is if you are working overnights and you're a morning person, or you're a morning person and you're working at night, like something really isn't gelling, okay, with the things you're making your mind and body do and the time your mind and body actually want to do it. All right, Cheryl, you are next. And Cheryl, I want to thank you so much. The teacups are gorgeous, and definitely expect, I'm going to pop my Etsy shop down here too. So I do have an Etsy shop. I make teacup altars, which are tiny sacred spaces. And I'll go ahead and share that. Please like the shop. I would love it if you did. Or favorite, follow, whatever you do on Etsy. And I was gifted some beautiful cups today, and I'm going to be posting them soon. So I'm very excited. I thank you so much. So appreciated. And I'm also putting together different witch kits. Alex, who's on the broadcast, is actually helping me with the artistic part because I'm not artistic. So they're helping me with that. And all right. Okay. And Adrian, yeah, think on it. Maybe there's something coming up or, something like that. Something. Thank you, Cheryl. And this is your card, okay? Simplicity. Enjoying the simplicity of, the simple joys in life, right? A beautiful day. And I really, kind of got that from you today when I dropped off and picked up, right? Just enjoying moments with your loved ones, and really breathing in and enjoying that. There is such pleasure in simplicity. Things don't have to be complicated. Oh yeah, he's very, very anxious for cat dinner time. So yes, Cheryl, simplicity. I will go ahead and get a card for you, and then I will wrap it up. Perfect timing today, right at 9. And of course, you can always watch my replays or work through the tarot lessons that I've done. And I did start right at the beginning. Started with the major arcana, worked my way through the minors, and a couple more weeks for the court cards. All right, Francis. Bear. Vulnerability is the first thing that came up here, okay? Vulnerability. Really being able to kind of strip away the face, the mask that we put out for the world. Really being able to strip that down and being bare and vulnerable with yourself first and foremost, okay? That's where kind of shadow work comes in. And I know Becky's going to be touching on that in her next pop-up, which is going to be tomorrow. I don't know what time. She did have to reschedule.